Hi guys! So today I'm going to show you how I made my hoagie rolls. You guys all saw my picture on Facebook and you've been asking me for how I do it, so I'm going to give you a tour on how that all happens. And I have a hitchhiker on my back because she was getting antsy, so hopefully I can quick get this done and show you guys before she gets really grumpy. So the first thing we're going to start out with is getting the yeast to proof, and this is key to getting these to rise properly, so don't skip this step. I'm going to start out with my 2 cups of water. I'm going to add approximately 2 tablespoons of yeast, or if you're using packets, you can just use 2 packets of yeast. And then I'm going to be adding my sugar right into that yeast water. And now all I'm going to do is let it sit for 5 or 10 minutes. This is going to get real bubbly. Hi Peter, what do you think of that? Doesn't smell like anything, that's just yeast. We're just going to let this get bubbly, and then we're going to keep going on with the rest of our ingredients. What you doing, Grace? What do you think? Does that look pretty good? You can see the yeast is starting to dissolve. This isn't ready yet, because you'll see when in a few minutes it's going to start really bubbling. What are you girls trying to look at? You can see it's just starting to get a little bubbly in here. We're going to give it another minute or 2. Look at all those bubbles. That's a sign that my yeast is active. Now we're ready to keep moving. I have another helper who's going to help us make our hoagie rolls. Right, Mary? Now we're going to add our 3 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of salt. Now I'm going to start adding my flour. And I'm going to start with 3 cups. And then we're going to start the mixing process. 3. And normally for bread making, you're going to use this paddle, but we're going to start out with the paddle first and not the dough hook. Turn this on to speed 2, just until it's incorporated. Looks like I need to add 1 more cup of flour. Once it's incorporated, we're going to turn this off. We had a little oops there.
Flour on the sock? That does not good. Here, show.
Is that soccer?
Clean enough. I've given up on all professional decorum here, and the girls are just going to be working next to me because this is actually how I usually work in the kitchen. The reason we want to turn this on high speed is we're going to develop those strands of gluten, and that is what's going to save us from having to knead this bread. So I'm just going to let this go for 5-10 minutes until those strands start getting really, really stretchy and stringy. The dough is all done in the first stage. You saw in the video I just showed you the clip of it really stretchy and stringy. So now we're going to change our attachments here. And usually you have to cut it because it's so, I just kind of cut it with a spatula or something. Sometimes I use a knife, and we're just going to want to get it off the hook. You can see how stretchy that is, and that's awesome. That's going to make wonderful rolls. No. Do you like how raw dough tastes like, Mary? Or Lydia, whatever your name is? Where did my... My measuring cup is now a holder for peanuts. Good thing, Mommy Grace, we got you. We're going to change it to the dough hook now. Just throw that on and add another, about a half a cup. We don't want to throw all the rest of the flour in there at once. Turn this on low and just let this finish kneading until you've used up all your flour or until the dough looks smooth but not really sticky anymore. It has to be well kneaded. Dough's still too sticky, so I'm going to add some more flour and let it go. All the flour has been used up and it's still sticky. Add a little bit more flour. About that much. You don't want to add a lot at a time because you don't want to dry it out. You just need to add a little bit, and then we'll just leave it again and check it in a minute. This is going to take probably another 3 to 5 minutes. You're just going to keep watching it when all the flour is gone. We're gonna add a little bit more flour to it. But we're just gonna keep doing this process. It's a very passive process for the baker. So it really works well for when you have a lot of kids, because you can kind of take care of it and then go run and take care of the kids, kind of like I'm doing right now. And then I come back, add a little bit more flour, go help the kids. And you can just kind of ignore this for the most part. And that's why these are so simple to make, because you don't have to babysit it. While this is going, I just want to share with all of you moms out there that bread baking is not something you should be intimidated by. It's something that you can do to help your grocery bill by saving money, not having to buy bread, but also provide a higher quality product for your family. So I'm hoping this video is going to help eliminate those fears that you might have about making bread and how long it takes, because it doesn't take that long. It's a lot of passive time. It's not active time. And you can get, as you can see, you can get the kids involved right along with you, working beside you. You're helping them, training them how to make bread, helping them with their families when they get older, all while doing something for your own family. All right, this is starting to look like it's getting close to being done. I'm not sure if it's done yet. So what I'm going to do is you just pinch off a piece of your dough, and then you're going to just stretch it slightly, and we're going to see how thin we can get this. If we can get it thin enough that you can sort of see through it, it's called the Windowpane test. That means it's well kneaded and it's ready to do the rising. I'm just going to stretch this. This is looking really good. Can you see how thin that is? That is a sign. Look how that can stretch. That is amazing. And that is what that kneading on high speed did. It developed that gluten. So this is pretty much all done. It feels a little sticky, but I think as it sets and rises, it's going to absorb the rest of that moisture, so I'm not going to have to worry about it. Turn it off for a second. I've got to get my glass bowl. Dear me. Wasn't watching. Well, I guess worse things could happen. I didn't see you doing this. All right, let's pick it up.
Wow, bummer.
It's like chemistry. What can I say? I'm going to just take a clean bowl here, and you need to grease it. You can either use an olive oil, a vegetable oil, or you can use cooking spray, whatever you want, or whatever you have on hand. Don't stress about it. I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil. Just put a little bit in the bottom of the pan here. And then I'm going to take off the dough hook. Well, I think Mary's lost all interest with Mommy and has come up to Daddy to check out the video man. And look at Daddy. A real sign of helping his wife. All flour.
And a kid.
All right, let's finish this up. Then we can have lunch. Ugh. Yeah, look at that gluten. All right. Take it out of your pan. Look at that. That is a really... Yes, go ahead. Let me have that. Put it over here, honey. All the way over here. There we go. This is a really nice, soft dough. It's going to make wonderful hoagie rolls. So I just kind of shape it real quick into a round ball. I'm going to put it head down, give it a twist, flip it over, give it another twist, and now I'm just going to take a cloth and cover it up. If you want, you can use plastic wrap. Whatever you have, just cover it, and we're going to leave it in a warm place to let it rise until it's doubled. It depends on your house. That could be 45 minutes. That could be an hour and a half. This is all done. Look at that. It looks beautiful. I'm going to take some cornmeal now and just lightly sprinkle some on my baking sheet. If you want, you can just use a baking cooking spray. This batch makes 16 rolls, so let me show you how I'm going to divide this up here. This way all the rolls are equal. I'm going to start by dividing this in half. That feels about half. Set that off to the side. Now I'm going to divide this in half again. Okay? That should be 4 rolls each. That one feels a little big. Right? I divide this again in half. And then this in half again. There we go. Do the same thing with this one. Divide it in half. And then each piece in half again. Like that. And there's our 8 equal portions. Now you're going to take it and you're going to just stretch it out a little bit. About like that. And you're going to just roll it. Real simple, just like that. Tuck in the ends. Tuck in the ends. Should look like that. One egg white and just beat it until it's all loose. I want these to look nice and fancy, so I'm just going to make, whoops, 3 diagonal slashes across the tops of them.
Lashes?
Slashes.
What are they?
They make them look pretty. I'm going to take my egg whites and just brush the tops on
Can
it.
I try it?
Do you want to try?
I'll do it myself.
All right. Just lightly brush the tops. Don't push too hard. Take my poppy seeds, and
Open it.
Lydia here is going to help me sprinkle just a few. Watch Mommy. I'll do the first one, and then you do the next one. Ready? Sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Oh, too much, too much. Just a few. Like that.
I'm taking them off.
All right. Go ahead and do some more. Now I'm going to let the rolls just rise. They'll take probably 30-40 minutes. I'm going to start preheating the oven and just let these set until they're about double, and then we're going to start the cooking process. I think my house is too cold because the hoagie rolls do not want to rise. The hoagie rolls have just about doubled in size. I'm now going to stick them in a preheated 400-degree oven and let them cook about 20 to 30 minutes, but I'm going to go by how brown they are and not by time. I'm cooking some spaghetti squash at the same time to use the heat the most productively I can. All right, there they go. They're all done and they look delicious. I can't wait to let them cool and then dig into them. I hope you've enjoyed this video and are encouraged to try making your own hoagie rolls and not to be afraid of trying new things. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider to subscribe to my channel where I have lots of cooking videos as well as our large family vlog, and we'll see you next time for our next video.